And the first friend, I was like, nah, you're lying. These guys would never want to work with me. I'm going to mize it. Until the actual day when I went to the studio session and I went through, and there were a bunch of other artists there. I eventually only recorded in like the AMs, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Oh, wow. What has been the worst piece of advice you have got?
That signing to a record label is the best thing that can happen to you. And the reason why it's the worst advice, and I need a lot of, like all of the young people watching this, I need you guys to really listen.
Kong Republic I like, speaking your truth on the mic. Hit the subscribe and like, time to
Kongcast.
Hey guys, welcome to Kongcast. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are doing well. Remember, if you all want a studio space to do photography, video, podcast, recording, please do check out kongrepublic.com. Check the link in the description and please do hit us up with the subscribe. We're almost getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark, guys. So, please do it. Go there and hit the subscribe button right now. But today we have someone very, very, very special in the studio. We have amazing singer, songwriter, vocalist, absolutely talented person. We are so lucky to be in the studio with her. Today we have Daleen Swartz. Daleen, right? AKA better known as Dinky.
Hi, Kong family.
How you doing, madam?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming today. And I'm sorry if I butchered your real name a little bit.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, how you doing? Are you well?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, no, can't complain, man. Can't complain. Thank you for coming to our studio. I know it was meant to happen some time ago, but better late than never. Eh?
Thanks for having me.
No,
I'm sure it's going to be great.
It's going to get great. But yeah, let's get right into it, okay? So we know you are absolutely talented vocalist, all right? But let's get into the beginning of this. Let's get into how did music affect your life growing up, or how did you get involved with music growing up? Because I do understand you come from a musical family. So tell us more about it, madam.
Oh, it's such a cliche story because everybody wants to know where you started, and obviously it's the church. But yeah, I do come from a very musical family. My mom sings. My late dad could sing. My sister sings. My uncle is the person that's like quite close to me, and that inspires me a lot to actually chase the thing. He sings as well. He was in the army as well, So I think growing up, music was just always a part of life. It's not that I chose it. It's not that I had to go and find it. Like, I was 3 years old, standing next to my 5-year-old sister at the time, and just looking up at her, and she's singing like big Whitney Houston songs, and I'm just trying to like copy everything that she was doing.
You actually remember that? Wow.
I have this funny picture where I don't even have teeth in the front, but girl is singing. I'm having my Beyonce moment.
Would you say that's your first childhood memory of music? Like, you 3 years old looking up to your sister singing?
So that one feels more familiar, but it comes from stories and obviously pictures. I think I was too young to be able to still have that memory now. But when I was in primary school, I think one of the biggest challenges for me just coming into, singing, I was in grade 3 and I was leading like a very big school choir, and we actually performed at the Regina Mundi Church in Soweto.
Oh, fantastic.
I think it was during the whole June 16 shenanigans. And yeah, I think that's the very first memory that I have of actually performing in front of people.
Oh, nice. I mean, we know you're natural at it, but has it always been something so natural? Like something that,
everything comes with a little bit of struggle. But you need to make it look like it's just flowing. But singing has always been my thing. Trying to perform for people has always been my thing. So yes, I would say it's always come naturally.
So, being someone that was involved with the church and, was involved in, kind of religious kind of gospel music, right? Why is it something that you did not go into? What was it? Because, gospel would have been the first immediate next thing to get into. Is there a reason you never get into gospel, or is there a reason maybe that you evolved from it, like that you had a better taste somewhere else?
So first and foremost, all the glory to God, because it's only because of Him that we can actually do anything in the world.
Amen. Amen to that.
I think there are a lot of limitations in terms of being creative in any religious space. And when I look at my generation, there's a whole bunch of young people who are so impressionable to things of the world that they don't even look in the direction of the church. But you can still share a message of love and a message of hope through music that can make you dance. You can share truth through music that can make you dance. Also, I've always enjoyed just house music per se. I think I started recording when I was in grade 9. And before they were even calling it Amapiano, when I heard it and I jumped on the wave with friends of mine, I just knew it worked. I wouldn't say I left gospel behind because I was never a recording gospel artist. But also being part of the church, it added a lot in terms of vocal capability. There's all of these big go-go's in the church and you're the one that can actually sing, so you need to outshine them. So it's quite a lot of practice. But I wouldn't say I left the church behind. I just think that I have a better platform to reach more people by singing music that they can actually enjoy and where there's no pressure and no judgment and kind of freedom. I'm still encouraging people to do their best.
That's such a great answer. That's such a great answer. But I know you said you were looking into Amapiano before Amapiano was a thing. So I mean, tell us about your experience with GOM, because GOM kind of was there before really Amapiano kind of blew up and stuff.
So I don't think to date I've ever released anything by myself that's GOM. But I did obviously try GOM and R&B to just try and even electric house. All music is beautiful, but not everything clicks. I think you'll know when you know what works for you. And obviously that for me was Amapiano. Definitely also R&B, I'd always want to venture into that. GOM is a tough one, and I think more so because I can't dance. So GOM needs serious dance moves, and I just see myself falling somewhere on the stage because of not getting the moves right.
It's funny you say that, because I was speaking to my friend TJ last night, and he was telling me as well, he can't dance. He's like a hot producer, but he can't dance. And I was like, no, man, they can't be real, But it's just weird because you're such a talented artist. You're always on stage and always doing your thing. It'll be weird if you don't dance. So,
yeah, I think having a bit of a groove and not being out of time works. But dancing, that's a professional sport. That one's not for the faint-hearted. Especially not on GOM.
Yeah, because it's very high paced.
Yeah, it's fast as hell.
But let's talk about the songwriting process, because I know you write your own music, and that's actually quite a challenge. People take that for granted, writing your own music. We know some of the biggest stars in the world, they got ghostwriters. So it's two separate things. And really what I just want to focus on is actual writing. Were you always a good creative writer in school, or what makes you such a natural writer?
Okay, cool. So I actually need to tell you the secret. I didn't enjoy writing or reading very much as a child. I struggled with it a lot. It's not a secret. It's a lot of people. I struggled with it a lot until an English teacher of mine, Miss Israel in grade 10, said that I actually have a bit of a problem. And she wanted me to do my exams verbally even.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's a bit off topic. When it comes to creative writing, I think I was in grade 7 and I got this book at a flea market. It had a dolphin on it. And I just wrote songs in there all the time like a mad person. Not that they made any sense. I was also in grade 7 just figuring myself out. I think there was a song about going to high school on the first page because that was something I was anxious about at the time. And I just want to also correct something that I don't always write the songs myself. I'm a person who always asks for help, especially branching into singing in other languages.
So is it everything you write, you always get other people's opinion?
I wouldn't say everything. A lot of the time, Google is my best friend, especially when I write in English. I'm an English-speaking person. But if I want to do a song in Zulu, then I obviously need to Google Translate.
Let me ask you, what do you dream in, English or Zulu?
I definitely dream in English. There's
Okay.
probably a bit of Afrikaans in there as well.
Okay.
The dreams are not coming in Zulu because then I wouldn't really fully understand it
Okay.
myself.
All right.
But I've always been a very good writer. Till today, I write songs all the time. But I think something that people need to acknowledge that you can write good music, but having that element of a ghostwriter also sometimes helps with the block of sounding the same on every song. And so I just want to encourage all other writers, like it's okay to ask someone for help, because sometimes people can do it a bit better than you, and ultimately if we're looking to push a particular brand, then any amount of help is okay. But yeah, I do write my own songs, sometimes very hard. It's very challenging trying to conquer other languages, but I do ask for help as well.
No, okay, no, fantastic. Well, I think that's quite big of you, because a lot of people who got so much recognition with you, it's very hard to ask for help, because but it's great, because I get a sense of humble in you.
Yes.
So that's great. That's
Did
very
you
good.
hear? I'm humble.
But ma'am, we have to touch on this. But you were in Idols. You were in the top selection of them as well. And Idols is a massive international show, and it really puts so many people on a platform that gives them not only exposure, but it also gives them like what they've been like needing and they actually deserve. So, I mean, like walk us through your experience with Idols and your evolution within Idols. Because I'm sure most of your audience and your people who got to know you, it was first in Idols, So yeah, tell us about that whole experience.
So first of all, shout outs to the Idols team. I do believe they are recording their final season this year, which is really sad. What I want to tell people is that, with any reality competition, any reality TV show, it throws you into the deep end of the entertainment world. And so you kind of need to be a sponge during this time and take in everything that you could possibly learn from the experience, because once you're eliminated, it's over. You don't have a team anymore. You don't have a stylist anymore. You don't have people, security following you around wherever you walk. You kind of need to figure out everything yourself. And so a big shout out to Idols, because they taught me a lot about professionalism, how to carry myself in situations like these, how to interact with fans and followers in general. The biggest thing I also learned is that nobody owes you any favors. Because I think everybody has this understanding that after you come out of a show like Idols, you now have all of the tools to kind of make it, but you don't. You need to use the knowledge that you gained and now find yourself and get into a recording space and figure out what your brand's gonna be like and get a team and, start moving. But yeah, Idols was hectic, It wasn't child's play. I think I've been auditioning for Idols since I was 16.
No way, really?
And it wasn't until 2018 when I actually made it to the TV audition.
Yeah.
And 2019.
So how many years has that been from 16 till 2018?
So 16, I made it to the top 10 in the year. In the top 9 when I was 21. So that's about 5 years to actually...
So 5 years of doing this. Yes, you don't give up, eh?
I'm a very resilient
That's
person.
That's good.
Also because, you're competing with the entire South Africa at that point. Everybody that's in that line, you don't know if they're there for wooden mic or if they can actually sing. So there's a lot of competition, and I believe in timing. All of the other years that I auditioned, I was obviously sad when I didn't make it. And then I made it into a year when there were only amazing vocalists. Like, it was hard to say who's the best, who's the what. And, so I think it puts a lot of pressure on me when I'm in a room or in a group with the best of the best to do my best and to do better and also to just learn. Because I think coming out of my year of Idols, I'm happy that I'm still doing what I love. I didn't stop. I released music like 2 months after being eliminated. So,
well, in my opinion, you're not really eliminated. It was such a good stepping stone to open your wings. But ma'am, in the world of music, we would call you a success because you are a successful musician. So I want to ask you. There's always things that inspires people to drive, because like you said, you're resilient. It's not it's very hard to be resilient. It's very hard to wake up in the morning and say, let's go, let's go, let's go, you know? So I want to ask you, what is your inspiration to wake up in the morning and go? Like, what inspires you?
So first of all, being your own boss is the best feeling ever. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Working for the man is not the vibe. I think growing up, we've always been in a small income home, and seeing my mom and my stepdad like work away all of their free time just to be able to give us literally the bare minimum because it's hard. You know, I think that gives me so much motivation because I'm not waking up and going to fulfill someone else's dreams. I wake up every day, and even though it's hard, there's so much passion behind it that even when I'm broke as hell, there's somebody that will pop out of nowhere and just send a DM and say, you know what, I'm having such a tough day, and this song brought me through today. And ultimately, that's what it's about. You know, I want people to understand that when you're doing something that you love, it has nothing to do with the success or the money. First of all, success is subjective to people. It's not this big idea of like, I'm going to Dubai. Success is you reaching the small goals every single time you set them. And basically, that's the only driving force that I have, because it's a very difficult industry and things get really hard. But I wake up knowing that I'm doing everything that I'm doing right now for myself, for my future, and it makes me happy. And I get to share my talent, and I get to give other people a voice for the things that they can't put words to, you know. I feel like it's a blessing to be able to do what you love. And yeah, I don't think anybody should ever give up on themselves, because we live in a world. Sorry for my language. Just bloop that out. But we do live in a terrible world, and nobody's looking out for each other anymore. And so you kind of need to fan for number one first and sort out your things in order to also be the best to other people in the end. So yeah.
You sound very inspirational, hey? But like, you know, what I want to talk to you about is that everybody like in the industry, you know, I spoke to so many guys in the industry, Blackie, Holly Ray, TJ, Chico, everybody says there's challenges and everybody got their own challenges. But, you know, I'm sure everybody's challenges are different because of their age and their gender and this and that. But let me ask you, what is your challenges, ma'am? What do you find challenging within the industry breaking out? What was your biggest challenge?
So I think every artist, if you look at yourself as a company, any company starting out in the first 5 years, they hardly a success. It's a passion project. I think the biggest issue for me is valuing yourself at a particular place and being told that you should value yourself at a particular place. And when you're needing to work with other brands or event companies or club owners and all of that, I think a very big problem is when they undervalue you according to how you value yourself. And this then puts you in a place of disbelief, like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be here? Do I not deserve more success, more money? I think communicating what the brand is and communicating where I like to be to the public world is difficult. I think a very big challenge also is communicating to people that at the end of the day, when you're in a public space, you're also still a regular human being. And there are other things outside of the entertainment space that could still contribute negatively to your work or negatively to your life. And, you know, I would just use this as an opportunity to encourage people to just be a little bit kinder and a bit more considerate. Because especially in the entertainment space, there's a lot of the behind the scenes work that take a very long time for you to actually achieve. And until you do all of those things, you're kind of not recognized in the game as a legitimate artist. Like I've been doing this for years, and I think the last 2 years have been the most successful of all of them. And to other people, I'm still going to be an upcoming artist probably for the next 5 years. And then I'm valuing myself at a point where, you know, I've done work, but ultimately, I think what people need to acknowledge is you can't expect everybody to know you. And that's a challenge because you want to feel like a celebrity. You want to feel like a superstar. You want to feel like what you are doing is actually working. But you always need to come expecting the worst and prepare for the worst so that you can make the best of what every little experience has. I think that's been a very big challenge for me. Like kind of letting small things affect me in a big way because of not understanding the concept of timing and the fact that it's fleeting, and it moves fast. So the longer you dwell on a situation, the longer it takes for you to actually overcome it. So yeah, that's something that I think I still struggle with today. But for any other artist out there, I think it's important to know who you are outside of the public opinion. Because when the public opinion becomes everything who you are, and if that kind of consumes you, you lose yourself, and it's so easy to lose productivity. It's so easy to end connections, like just to have bad relationships with people when you don't understand that, look, my man, this is how it works. Things take time.
Oh, good, man. You speak like a very, very mature person, because, being young, you want things now, you want things done yesterday, and you want, results today. But it's very good. I mean, it's a very mature thing that you're saying this, I love these podcasts. The reason why, because, when I meet someone for the first time, and then, like, as we do this thing, I learn so much more about them, and you learn the person they are and stuff like that, which is actually great. And I'm saying this here because this is turning out to be such an interesting conversation, at least for me, in terms of, your struggles and what you've been through, and also the advice you give out. It's such great advice, and the thing is, ma'am, you still, and I won't say new to this because you've been doing this a minute, but you're still like young. You got your whole life ahead of you. Imagine what you're going to be doing in the next 10, 15 years. It's unbelievable. But we're going to get to all of that in a bit, guys. Stay tuned. And remember, guys, if you want to use our studio space, please visit kongrepublic.com and check us out. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll be right back after the ad break.
Now, for a limited time, get your exclusive photo shoot for only 2,450 Rand and get a free A1 canvas print. This special includes 20 high-resolution images, 3 hours of editing and retouching, 2 background options of your choice, includes photographer, gear hire, assistant, and refreshments. Get your exclusive photo shoot done at Kong Republic Studios based here in Kyalami, Midrand.
Hi guys, welcome back to Kongcast. Remember guys, if you all need to do a photo shoot, if you want to record your first album, if you want to start your own podcast, go to kongrepublic.com and hit the subscribe button right now. We're almost at 1,000, so please hit that subscribe button. Getting right back into the interview with the great Dinky, all right? Ma'am, earlier you touched on Idols is coming to an end right now. They're shooting their last season. It's a bit of a sad thing because Idols was such a springboard for so many people. I would assume you also feel that about you as well, because it taught you, like you said earlier, how it felt to have a stylist, as a team, have security. It made you feel like safe and put you in a position where you learn so much. Okay. I think it's a sad thing that it really is coming to an end, because it did so much great for so many people. But what's your opinion on a show like Idols? Because Idols was not necessarily about getting, yes, it's about the ratings, but it's also helping about like an artist, grow and spread their wings. What's your whole thoughts on, firstly, making it to that high number in Idols and now everything coming to an end going forward, What's your take on the whole thing?
So unfortunately in life, everything does come to an end. And I think we can celebrate the journey that Idols has had over kind of looking at it in a negative way. We also need to think of the evolution of technology and how this plays a role in why Idols needs to end. Social media has everything at your fingertips. And it's about utilizing the tools to get yourself out there. People are not watching TV as much anymore. Chances are you go to someone's house and their TV's on the music channel most of the time. Or unless there's kids in the house and they're watching like Cocomelon, I don't know. But like the TV space, I think this is why podcasts are booming at the moment, because it pops up on your TikTok, on your Reels. You can get it on YouTube. It's on your phone. You're on the move. Like I said, life is fast. I think apart from the R1 million at the end of Idols, the exposure part for artists is still possible, because it's about taking that video and posting that video. So it's a really sad thing for it to come to an end in South Africa. But I also think that it will encourage people to not just wait for that one opportunity. You kind of need to seize every opportunity, even if it doesn't look like a big opportunity at that time, because you never have control over what things can bloom into. So I think that, shout outs to Idols and Mzansi Magic. The team did great, and we are so happy for everybody that they have assisted in the game. But now what people need to do next is, it's either someone needs to come with a new show that's more relevant to the younger group, because I think the younger people weren't really bothered with watching TV so much anymore. So we need a new show, maybe you guys will bring it, I don't know. But also we just need more people to have the courage to actually put yourself on a stage. And right now you have a virtual stage. You have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have TikTok, you have everything. Consider that your idol stage, just put yourself out there, because ultimately in the competition, you look for the validation of South Africa and not necessarily the judges. It's South Africa that controls who wins. So this is the exact same thing, but it's on an international scale. So put yourself on that virtual stage for the rest of the world to decide whether they vibe with you or not. Learn from people's opinions. Don't take everything to heart. Because if anything that happened in the past happened just to end, then it kind of wouldn't make sense. Things like Idols, things like these competitions happen to show people that there are opportunities. You can be that 1 in a million. You can take a very big leap and turn into something wilder than all of your dreams, So yeah, I think South Africa's gonna miss the show, but I think that there's so much more that can happen to the entertainment industry if they see this as like, we need to carry on.
I mean, that's so great. I mean, considering that you did this for 5 years, consistently, and it, put you in a situation where you not only learned, but you kind of matured from it. My question would be like, what would you be doing if music wasn't your thing? Well, what would be happening if you never spent 5 years doing Idols? If you never focus on writing songs? If you would never go to church? What would you be doing as a career?
So I was really good at math and business studies.
All right.
I studied teaching. I also studied.
You studied teaching?
I also studied HR.
Oh, wow.
I don't have any degrees.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't have dropped out
Yeah.
because I dropped out to audition again. But yeah, I'd probably be a teacher. I'm also really good with makeup. I'm also really good with
I can
hair.
see you sharp with the makeup and the hair and stuff like that.
I'm also, I like making things. Like my very first business in life, I made hair accessories to make money at school. So like little bows and for the boys, bow ties.
Really?
Yeah, I take like an old curtain, chop it up and make things and sell them at school for 5 rand.
And the guys used to buy
That was kind
it?
of my spending money.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so...
You're a bit of an entrepreneur as well, then. Yeah, fantastic.
So I'd probably do that. I'd probably also do a lot of motivational speaking. I think I probably would have been a psychologist also, probably majoring in industrial psychology, like in the workspace, because I've seen a lot of people have serious trauma from working a 9 to 5.
Yeah, that can be traumatic.
So I would probably be in that space helping people get through whatever they're facing.
Yes, that's very nice of you. What I want to actually really touch on is you got a new, it's not new at the moment, but there's a song with MURUMBA Pitch. Tell us about the making of it and how was it? Firstly, it's a great song, all right? Tell us about how did that whole thing come about? Okay,
cool. So the name of the song is Hit Wena Dali. It's available on all platforms. The music video is out now as well, so go check it out on YouTube. I think the recording of the song actually happened toward the end of last year. Well, actually in the middle last year. So I didn't know MURUMBA Pitch personally, and friends of mine were trying to get me into their camp. And the first friend, I was like, nah, you're lying. These guys would never want to work with me. I'm going to mize it. Until the actual day when I went to the studio session and I went through and there were a bunch of other artists there. I eventually only recorded in like the AMs, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Oh, geez.
And we did 3 songs in that short space. And yeah, it was amazing. I think they had a lot of great songs from that project. And Wena Dali wasn't a standout song, but something we all realized was the song was pushing itself over time without us really trying. And we're like, you know what, we need to give people something.
Yeah, because it had that gradual
It had
growth.
that gradual
it never did
growth.
that, but it consistently did that.
And still is.
Yeah, I know. That's amazing though, right?
So yeah, it's a very amazing song, and I think like any other collaboration in the world, it gives you an opportunity to learn so much more about your industry and about how to accommodate other people on a song. Because as artists, we're also arrogant, shame with our talent. We want to take all of the shine. And you know, once again, thank you to the group even for having me as a feature on the song, because you know it exposes you to a new market. But yeah, great stuff, man. Wena Dali. It's an amazing song.
Well,
Go listen.
congratulations on that. I mean, you guys did so well on that. But, you know, I know earlier we touched on R&B, and like if you wasn't really in the Amapiano space, you'll probably move into R&B. So tell me about R&B. Who's your like guys that inspire you? Which music do you listen to R&B? Like, what's your R&B go-to?
Okay, cool. So I don't know if you guys know Chloe Bailey.
Chloe Bailey? Familiar?
They are signed to Beyonce.
Oh, okay. All
It's
right.
Chloe and Hailey. They are not twins, they look like twins, but they are sisters. Hailey's the Little Mermaid in the latest Disney rendition of the movie.
Okay.
So I like her R&B a lot. She's like a new artist. I'm like, well, not new, but she's kind of carrying R&B at the moment for me, for the ladies. I like her. I've always been a fan of the Aretha Franklins, the Whitney Houstons. I like Jasmine Sullivan as well. She's amazing. My favorite artist at the moment, she's European. Her name is Leanne La Havas. She sings kind of jazzy stuff. That's also something that I really like, because all of those soulful elements kind of came together with rhythm and blues, you know. R&B was amazing. Yeah, those are my stuff. I also really like Boys to Men. I'm a sucker for the Marios and for Usher.
Okay. The golden guys, eh? Of the era, you know?
I'm a 90s baby.
Yeah,
So all of that music. B.I.G. also, they aren't R&B, that's a bit of hip hop, but B.I.G., Tupac, they're also quite amazing. I think I love music as a whole. So yeah, when it comes to the R&B section of life, I kind of like follow what the radio is giving us and enjoy it as well. And also obviously what our parents played when we were younger.
This is very exciting. I mean, like, so, you know, we see you on a lot of features and stuff like that, you know. Are you working on an album anytime soon of your own?
Okay, cool. So I have released 3 EPs to date. Well, 2 EPs, and then I dropped an album November last year.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's called House of Kunene. I think I have about 23 or 24 features on that project.
Oh, wow.
So please do and go and give it a listen. I just recently dropped a song called NDIDIKIWE featuring Sax and Sol Phenduka. An amazing song also. My manager.
And that song is doing very well as well.
It is doing well.
Very well, yeah.
My manager kind of made me see the song nicer, because the song is obviously a song about being fed up and whatnot and needing to leave a situation where you don't feel appreciated. But he gave me encouragement in what he spoke about the song. And he was like, dance your way into being strong enough to leave a situation where you aren't appreciated. You know, so that's what NDIDIKIWE does. I hope you guys can listen to it. It's still fresh. It hasn't even been out for a month yet. Yeah, currently I'm still in studio, still working, you know. It's kind of a free-flowing thing, this music business, because we try and make hits all the time. But realistically, you just make music and you let the people decide whether it's a hit or not.
Yeah.
So please do go and check out the music. House of Kunene, available on all platforms, and NDIDIKIWE, available on all platforms. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
Oh, fantastic. How was it working with Sax? Sax is actually our good friend. How was it working with him?
Dope. Dope as hell. I like being around musicians.
Yeah.
Especially the people that play instruments as opposed to vocalists or producers. People that play instruments, you can actually copy a lot of their riffs and copy a lot of the things that they play. I have a great musical ear. I'm not tooting my own horn. But you can learn from a lot of instruments like the piano, the saxophone, even the violin, even the flute. If you listen to those little elements in a song, it can actually train how you sing. So yeah, it was really dope working with him. I love everybody, every artist I've ever worked with. It's always an opportunity for me to learn something different than what I know.
You know, I was actually saying, we actually got Dinky coming on the show. He's like, oh yeah, you know, and then he's like, he spoke very well of you. He spoke very, very well of you.
God,
you know?
thanks, man.
But anyway, guys, we're going to be back right soon after this ad break.
Now, for a limited time, get your exclusive photo shoot for only 2,450 Rand and get a free A1 canvas print. This special includes 20 high-resolution images, 3 hours of editing and retouching, 2 background options of your choice, includes photographer, gear hire, assistant, and refreshments. Get your exclusive photo shoot done at Kong Republic Studios based here in Kyalami, Midrand.
Hi guys, welcome back to Kongcast. Remember, if you want a photo shoot done, if you want to start your own podcast, if you want to make your own album, we got you covered. Check out kongrepublic.com and get the latest and greatest prices anywhere in GP, all right? And we will beat it. If you get a written quote, we will beat your prices, all right? So yeah, check us out. We're back to a great podcast with the amazing, talented vocalist, Dinky. How you doing, ma'am? How you finding it?
Good, I'm having so much fun. It's always nice to share.
No, it's good. And we love the fact that you are sharing, because, you know, not a lot of people in your caliber share this kind of knowledge. So it's so great, and our audience loves it. And, you know, we find our retention on these videos are very long, because the advice you guys give is absolutely amazing. But talking about advice, you know, as a vocalist, you know, it's obviously you want to maintain your sound, you want to maintain a particular brand to your sound, right? What is the advice you give up-and-coming vocalists that don't have their sound, don't have their root or the way or even the genre for say, like, what's your advice to someone who wants to get in the industry as a vocalist, but they just don't know how and they don't even know where to start?
I think we are always our own stumbling block first before any of the things happen in the industry. I think the mindset of not being able to or not having something that you fit into is the first problem, because you need to be able to adapt. No situation that can promote growth is meant to be comfortable. So I think for any other vocalist, what I would say to them, don't be afraid to try things, because sometimes you can find your sound in something that you don't even listen to. You can find your sound in something that you didn't think you could actually vibe with. But a little bit of effort and a little bit of belief can take you a long way, actually. I also, I think I said it in the beginning, I think I've said it a couple of times, but being a sponge in life really helps you. You need to soak in everything. You need to experience life in order to learn life. And it's like that in every single industry. You need to actually go out there and go and record a few songs that nobody's ever going to hear. Because that's how it is in the game. You go to a studio session, you record 6 songs, they release 2, and the rest is ta-ta, bye-bye. And there's nothing you can do about it, but you can still learn from what you did in those songs and learn to kind of take a different approach. For vocalists, it's kind of hard to box yourself, because you can find an Afro producer can come to you. What if I do on my piano and Black Coffee hits me up tomorrow? And now I'm stuck because I don't do his kind of music. No, there's no such thing. You need to go and listen to stuff, you need to make reference, and you need to learn.
And evolve, eh?
And evolve.
Oh, fantastic, you know. But what I want to find out is, you know, I mean, you're talented, and what I would love to know is, who or which vocalist do you think is top notch? And I'm talking about worldwide. I'm not necessarily talking about SA. I'm talking about yes, when you hear almost every song, you know, oh my word, that is amazing. That is absolute talent, and someone who you, I won't say aspire to, but who aspires you. You know, who would that be in your world?
Sia.
Really, eh?
So the reason why I would say Sia is because she hasn't been too involved in the theatrics and the politics of the entertainment industry. She manages to communicate the right amount of what she will allow people into. So being in the public space, you often feel like you need to show more, you need to give more, you need to wear less, you need to, like it's stressful. But Sia manages to make amazing music that's literally timeless, that everybody can listen to, whether they like that kind of music or not. And the most important thing that I've learned from her is she's a huge artist, but she can let Beyonce come and write a song for her, or she can let Jessie J write a song for her. At the end of the day, it's about allowing yourself to enjoy the full creative process and knowing what works best for you and knowing where to cap it on, like what you show the world and what you give the world. I think in our industry today, a lot of people give away more of themselves, but the world won't finish, you'll finish. Like you kind of need to keep yourself dear to your own heart and keep certain parts of yourself private. And I think Sia does that so effortlessly. I think she can learn from other people. She also inspires a lot of people. And I think also she inspires difference. And this is one of the reasons I look up to her, because a lot of people are born into a world that looks black and white, and we forget the gray area and we forget the color area. And we kind of need to embrace people's difference and people's abnormalities, for lack of better words. The things that people don't see as normal. We need to embrace those things and see her as a beacon for that.
Oh, wow, that's great. That really is great. But, what I want to touch on is that, I'm sure not every song has been smooth sailing as it looks like when we play it, because, we don't see the making, we don't see the late nights, we don't see the hardship, we don't see the tears, we just see the amazing project at the end of the day. What would you say has been a challenging, I won't say challenging in the sense of battling to work with people, but challenging for yourself in terms of writing, making, singing the song? What has been for you the most challenging making of a song?
I think my own inferiority complex gets in the way sometimes, because you walk into rooms where there's artists that are bigger than you, people that have a lot more experience. And I think my inferiority complex gets in the way because it kind of puts a mental block when you don't believe you deserve to be in a particular room. But I think something that's also very challenging is that, well, not anymore, it used to be, being able to explain over and over who you are. Because you walk into a room and people are like, who's this?
Really?
And that can make you lose motivation.
Not feel comfortable,
Yeah, you're not comfortable at all. So I think that is something that I've overcome, being okay with always explaining who I am, how I work, how I'd like things to be, and being vocal about what makes you comfortable in a studio session.
Okay, all right, no, cool. That's actually a great answer. But, Dinky, we always ask people their advice and, get their take of what they'll do. But one thing we don't ask is the negative of it, all right? So, thus far in your music career, okay, what has been the worst piece of advice you ever got? You don't need to tell us who gave you the advice, but what has been the worst piece of advice you have got?
That signing to a record label is the best thing that can happen to you.
Was that the worst?
That's the worst advice.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's the worst advice, and I need a lot of, all of the young people watching this, I need you guys to really listen. You cannot walk into a room with a big company and have nothing to put on the table and not be able to make demands. Because they'll finish you. You must remember that things are so different in the game now that being signed in a 360 deal can end your career before it even started, because you're also part of such a big network when you belong to a big record label. I think you need to ask questions and opt for a publishing deal or a distribution deal. Ask for things that work better for you. Or, even if you're a writer, instead of giving away yourself, you can sell some of your intellectual property if that will help you make money, But I think the worst advice I've ever gotten is that I will be protected if I am represented by a very big record label. Because I have been signed to a big record label before and I got absolutely nothing.
Really?
from that.
But
I
they
don't
come
want
with resources, and don't they come with all of
They
that?
also come with a lot of bureaucracy
and baggage.
and baggage and old people that are still working. No offense
And
to
these are
anybody.
non-musician people, right?
Non-musician
These are business people.
Like I think something that a lot of big companies need to realize is that the innovative plans come from younger minds. Minds like people that keep their ear to the ground are always going to be a resourceful place to get advice from, or to get guidance from, or to get assistance from. Because when you're sitting in your big country office and you're looking at numbers, and like especially here in South Africa, we have big record labels that are kind of involved in these big artists. Let's use Akon as an example. Akon can drop a song tomorrow and it can do good. And it can be a #1 hit on radio and whatever. But the record label can use those same resources for you, forgetting that the groundwork wasn't the same. And everybody started somewhere, and there's a lot of things that need to be involved. And I think immediately going into signing big contracts, not understanding even the definition of the word recouping. I think that's what people need to pay attention to. Stop chasing money. Stop chasing that big payout, because it will hurt you in the long run more than what it will help you.
You know, I was speaking to Holly Ray, and she's like really anti-label, because she was signed to, I'm not going to say who she was signed to, but she was signed to a label, and it was crazy. Like they used to have meetings about her and the direction she needs to move, and she was not privy to those meetings. But but for the meeting, they'll go to a particular location, and her budget is paying for the location that they are there. Her budget is paying for the food that was there. Her budget is paying for basically everybody to get there and make the decisions, and she was not involved in that. And she said it was the most horrible thing in the world, like, you know, and you can't do anything about it, you know.
Because you signed in a deal. You sign over your name and likeness. You sign over your creative control over your work. Sometimes you sign over your masters. These deals can be very tricky. So don't go until, you know, like, how can I put this? I can be, if I'm Jay-Z and I've worked myself to a point where people know exactly who the F I am, then I can walk into a meeting with a big record label and say, this is what I want, these are the terms, this is how I would be comfortable with. But when you don't really know much about the game yet, then the record labels, they enjoy that. Because you're impressionable. They can teach you, they can bend you as far as humanly possible, and you would not know that your boundaries are being crossed because you didn't actually set any. You weren't given the opportunity to set any boundaries for yourself and for your career. So learn more, and then you can go for opportunities for signing contracts. But that lack of information, that lack of knowledge, it can hurt a lot of people.
I mean, and labels are known for hurting millions of artists worldwide. I mean, like, it's actually a bit sad, but like, I think the concept of a label is kind of slowly going out of fashion, though. I think like a lot more people is realizing that they don't need a label to do this. With stuff like TikTok and, you know, social media, and like what you could do without a label is crazy. And then I was looking at the major A&R international tracking solutions, and it's all linked to the most viral songs in TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. So now even the labels is looking at social media and say who's doing their thing, and then they're approaching them. You know, that's the new norm going forward. It's not like traditionally where the labels will go to a bar or go to some place where they're performing and they'll sit and they'll listen to artists. No, it's actually, they're doing it completely differently. And, you know, I think personally, you know, I don't know a lot about the music game, but from what I understand and the information I speak, you know, the labels is not necessarily always your friend, you know.
Yeah, and I really think people are like, we need money, obviously, to make money. And I think that struggle to getting the money could be a very big motivating factor in why people take a payout. But what I want people to know is that when you do sign with a record label, consider yourself a blank invoice. And they're just going to continue adding stuff onto the invoice. For that, they could give you 1 million, they could give you 3 million, and then you could have made back 60 million. But it's like a cell phone contract. The phone costs 20,000 rand cash. You'll end up paying 40,000 rand because you chose to take credit, you know? So that's exactly the same way it works in the entertainment space. Don't expect things are just happening out of the goodness of your record label's heart. That's not how it is. You pay everything, every little cent you need to pay back.
The studio time,
The studio time. Sometimes you record music and you don't even do it in the record label's facilities. But best believe, they will quote you for studio time for the recording of that song.
It's crazy. It's like I said, I think it's a whole concept. But moving along, you know, ma'am, you had, like I said, you're very successful. When was the moment you realized, yes, I kind of made it, you know? I'm sure there must have been a moment, whether it's on stage or whether it just flicked. It was like, holy shit, I think this is it. Like, when was that moment for you?
In all honesty, I don't think I've made it.
With all your success, you don't think you made it?
I don't think I've made it because if I feel like I've made it, I'm going to stop working.
Okay, then yeah, you never made it. Don't say that.
I don't believe I've made it yet.
Yeah.
I really believe in the saying, you know, if you show God your plans, he'll probably just laugh. Because I can only see as far as my arm goes, realistically speaking. I obviously have dreams and wishes for myself. But I can't, in full honesty, say that the way things have happened is what I thought would have happened. I get to share rooms with people that I never thought I'd meet in my life.
I get the biggest people in the country.
I get exposed to conversations that I didn't think I'd ever have the privilege to. I've also been exposed to serious trauma that made me like kind of look at the game and want to leave.
Really?
And not want to be involved. Like, there's a lot of ugly things that have happened. And if I act as if I've made it, I wouldn't be able to learn from someone. If I act as if I've made it, or if I feel like I've made it, then automatically the following door, the next door, is never going to open because I think I've arrived. You know, and so I don't believe I've made it. I can be a bit well known in South Africa, but there's a whole world out there, and hopefully extraterrestrials at some point.
You know, we interviewed like 47 people so far, all celebrity. I think like at least 30 of them were musicians, and we always kind of ask this question towards the end. This is the first time someone said that they didn't feel they made it, you know, which is great. I mean, that just shows you like how hungry you are and like how humble you are at the same time. So man, yeah, I think, you know, respect, ultimately, you got my respect at least, you know. But yeah, let's talk about like dreams and wishes now, since you always have an aspiration of doing something. If you could play at any venue in the world, where would it be?
Have you watched the movie August Rush?
Wait, it sounds familiar.
The boy, he doesn't have any musical background per se. Like he was an orphan. He was orphaned by his mom's father. But then, what's that? It's this big park in America.
In New York?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
No, it's not Disneyland. I think it's like...
It's not...
I think it has Central Park in it, but it's a very big...
Central Park Arena.
I think so.
I know. I think that's one Rihanna played at, Black Coffee played there, Drake played there.
So I'd like to play there. Obviously, if we can go to Coachella.
Is it Madison? Madison, yes, that's the one you're talking about. Okay, that's huge, eh?
I'd like to perform there. I don't know if the World Cup will ever come back to South Africa.
Yeah. You'd like to perform at a World Cup?
I would like to perform at a World Cup. Because everybody's watching. I'd like to sing a song in a different language.
That's so cool, eh?
I'd like to go and do a Spanish song, even. I don't know. I'd like to do that. I've always had hopes, like big hopes for the visual arts in South Africa, you know, pertaining to our movies and our series and all of that. I know I'm in music, but at some point in my life, I would really like to open up a bigger gap in the film industry.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing.
Because I feel like there's a lot of ideas, but access and budget is a very big problem in our country. So that's something I would like to change. I'd like to start a clothing range as well. I know everybody's like being a thick girl at the moment in the world it's a world trend, but I don't think that there are enough brands that are thick girl friendly. So that's something that I would like to do, because I know there's only a few places that I can shop at and actually be comfortable to go and perform in this thing, and there's always limitations, so I want the limitations to be gone.
But you say the thick girl, you don't that.
You'd be surprised what's considered thick and what's considered not.
Really?
But anyway, yeah, there's politics in every department of life. But I'd also really like to start a makeup range at some point, cruelty-free. I'd like to start a vegan makeup brand. I suffer from eczema, however you guys say it.
Yeah.
All of my siblings do.
Yeah.
And I took a bit of a more harsh approach as to working with my skin. I stopped all medication and had a serious breakout for about 6 months. Then I trained my body to not need the medicine anymore. And so now certain makeup products still have like a bad reaction to my skin. So that's something I'd like to do, because I don't feel like we have enough cruelty-free brands that also have a wide enough gap for every skin color.
I agree.
That are affordable though, because we do have the Fenties of the world, but in South Africa, like realistically speaking,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, so I feel like we need one here at home. I'd also really like to open up an orphanage. That's one of the biggest dreams that I have. I wasn't orphaned obviously, but my dad did leave the picture when I was a baby. And I see so many other children that have that gap of no parents. And I feel like there's just so much room in South Africa, because we have a lot of homeless people. We have a lot of kids that are left without parents. And I'd love to start an orphanage one day, because I feel like, I don't know if I'll have any kids of my own, but I would like to be a mother to many.
Oh, that's so nice, man. That's so nice. Yeah. I mean, do we even go further than that? That is absolutely nice. That's so selfless, because you think about so many people else prior to putting yourself, which is great. And I think, you must definitely go for it and follow your heart. If that's what you want to do, you must do it. And then regarding the TV show, we should have a conversation off camera, regarding that there. But man, just we wrapping up things here, man. Like what I want to find out from you is, what can we expect from you? And man, like do you have any crazy plans? Do you wish to tell the audience anything that you're cooking that you don't have to? But like, is there anything we can expect from you going forward in the next few months?
What I can say is traffic is important. So for more updates, you can follow me, Dinky Kunene, on all platforms. On Facebook, it's Makunene, to get regular updates of what I'm doing. Obviously, we don't want to spill the beans. And then
of course,
like,
no, 100%.
So come and check out my page and come and find out what I'm doing. I would really appreciate that. Also, just continue listening to the music. Please go and blow up NDIDIKIWE. Hopefully a music video is coming your way soon. I don't know. I don't want to put a cap on what I can do. And then I give you what my plans could be for the next 3 months, and God decides on something bigger. But I've accepted the small thing already. So what I believe will happen in the coming future is blessings on blessings on blessings. So please do stay tuned for the name Dinky Kunene. There's a lot more coming, and I hope you guys are ready, because I am.
Oh, man, thank you so much. I was just saying, like, it's always so good to sit down and because you take so much from the person, and I love these conversations. And, I don't always get to them. I try my best to do them. So, but I was really keen for this one today. So, man, thank you firstly for coming to our studios and, being on the show. What's your opinion on what we're doing here and what we're up to? What's your take on it? What advice do you have for us?
I think it's amazing. I think the only way you ever achieve anything in life is if you're trying something different. And obviously by taking a step towards something, I can guarantee you guys don't know what's lying ahead. There's probably so much more greater than what you even expected. And obviously giving a platform for us as artists to also speak our truth, because people think it's a simple situation. So just thank you for that platform as well. And on behalf of everybody else that's been here, thank you for allowing us to to broadcast our voice.
Oh, no, it's an
Because
absolute
people hear the
pleasure.
music and they see the end product, but they hardly get to see us as a person. Just
And talk to your
and
guys.
talk to us.
Yeah.
So thank you,
No,
Kong
absolute
Republic,
pleasure.
for that.
Absolute pleasure, man. We're so keen to host you again. From our side, because you came on the show and you made the effort to free up your busy schedule to come through. We're going to give you a free shoot to the value of $6,000. You just set it up with Eve, come through. Let's make it a fantastic, fantastic day. We're very excited for it. I'm very keen. I'm going to be shooting myself.
Oh, lovely.
So we're very excited for that. But from our side, ma'am, thank you so much for being on the show. Okay, cool, guys. And that was the amazing, talented songwriter, vocalist, absolutely beautiful Dinky. Dinky, thank you so much for being on the show. Do you want to do our outro for us, madam?
I would love
Please
to.
go ahead. That camera, go for
Thanks so much to the Kong family for tuning in once again. Guys, remember, for all of your photography needs, your music videos, your podcast, anything to put you on, just go to kongrepublic.com. I got it. Just go to kongrepublic.com and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Get us to 1,000. Get us so much more. Spread the news. Read all about it. It's Kong Republic, your show.
it.
Kong Republic I like. Speaking your truth on the mic. Hit the subscribe and like. Time to
Kongcast.